fire crackles gently in the darkness, its warmth a fleeting comfort as shadows flicker around you. A story from 1892 Colorado waits to unfold, a tale of labor, betrayal, and a strike that broke more than machines. This isn't about vanishings or curses, it's real, rooted in the sweat of steelworkers, its echoes reaching into 2025. Stay with me by the fire. This one will weigh on your heart long after the flames fade. It's late summer 1892, in the rugged mountains of southern Colorado, where the air carries the sharp tang of coal and iron. The town of Crestview, a small steel mill settlement, thrives on the hum of its furnaces, its 500 residents bound by the clang of hammers and the glow of molten metal. John Harris, 38, is a foreman at the Crestview Steel Works, a broad-shouldered man with calloused hands and a steady gaze. He's worked the mill for 20 years, rising from a laborer to a leader, his voice respected among the workers. The mill, owned by the wealthy Grayson Iron Company, employs men, women, and even children, their lives shaped by 12-hour shifts and meager wages. The Crestview Mill is a beast of industry, 3 towering furnaces, rows of anvils, and a network of tracks where steel rails are forged for railroads stretching across the west. John's crew, 150 strong, labors under harsh conditions, scorching heat, lung-choking dust, and wages that barely feed their families. The company, run by a distant board in Denver, profits soar, while the workers struggle. John sees it daily, men collapsing from exhaustion, children's hands burned by molten slag, wives sewing patched clothes. He's quiet but determined, his mind turning to action as discontent brews among the crew. The Grayson board ignores pleas for better pay, their response a curt letter promising efficiency improvements. By July 1892, the tension boils over. John organizes the workers, holding meetings in a dimly lit barn after shifts, their voices hushed but firm. They demand a raise from $1.50 to $2 a day, shorter hours, and safer conditions, basic rights for backbreaking work. The group grows, 120 workers pledging to strike, their resolve hardening as the mill's profits are flaunted in Denver newspapers. John, elected as their spokesman, drafts a petition, his handwriting steady despite trembling hands, and sends it to the company. The response is silence for weeks, the furnaces roaring on, the workers' patience fraying. On August 15, the strike begins, machines idle, gates locked, the town holding its breath. The strike starts peacefully. John leads picket lines, his crew chanting slogans, their signs weathered but bold, fair pay, fair work. Families gather, bringing food, their support a lifeline. The mill sits quiet, its smoke thinning, the Grayson board unmoved. Days stretch into a week, then 2, the workers' savings dwindling, their resolve tested. John walks the line daily, his boots caked with dust, his voice hoarse from rallying, but his eyes hold hope. The company hires scabs, unskilled men from nearby towns, breaking the strike's momentum. Tensions rise, scuffles erupt, and on September 1st, a scab is injured, a hammer found near the scene, the air thick with suspicion. The Grayson Company seizes the moment. They accuse John and his crew of sabotage, claiming the hammer was planted to disrupt operations, a charge that could land them in prison. The sheriff, a burly man named Robert Dunn, arrives with deputies, arresting John and 5 others, Tom Reed, 29, a father of 3, Samuel Carter, 34, a widower, Mary Ellis, 26, a single mother, and brothers Paul and James Lowry, 31 and 27. The town watches, stunned, as the accused are hauled to the county jail in Pueblo, their families left in despair. The mill reopens, scabs filling the gaps, the strike crumbling under the weight of the charges. John's heart sinks, his leadership now a liability. The trial begins in October 1892, the Pueblo courthouse packed with workers, company men, and curious locals, the air heavy with judgment. The prosecution, led by a stern prosecutor named George Hale, builds a case. Witnesses, mostly scabs, testify to seeing John near the injured man, the hammer linked to his crew. The hammer, rusted and unmarked, becomes the centerpiece, its presence a silent accusation. John defends himself, his voice calm but strained, insisting the injury was accidental, the hammer a mill tool, not a weapon. His crew backs him, their testimonies shaky but earnest, but the evidence is thin, the company's influence palpable. The defense argues a setup, pointing to Grayson's haste to break the strike, but the jury wavers. The trial drags on for 2 weeks, each day a grind of testimony and tension. Workers from Crestview pack the gallery, their faces etched with worry, their support for John unwavering. The company's lawyers paint him as a radical, a danger to progress, their words dripping with disdain. John sits quietly, his hands clasped, his mind replaying the strike, the hope it carried, now tainted by this fight. The jury deliberates for 4 days, the town on edge, the mill running again, its profit secure. On October 28, the verdict comes, guilty. John and his crew are sentenced to 5 years, their strike a memory, their lives upended by a courtroom blow. The aftermath is bitter. John serves his time, released in 1897, a broken man, his health frail, his family scattered. Tom loses his home, Samuel his savings, Mary her job, the Lowry brothers their spirit. The Crestview mill thrives, its owners richer, the workers subdued, their fight a cautionary tale. John dies in 1903, his grave unmarked, his legacy buried with the strike. The town moves on, the steel industry growing, the scandal fading into local lore, whispered by old-timers over beers, its truth lost to time. The mill closes in the 1950s, its ruins a silent testament to that year. But in 2025, the story stirs again. A historian, 30-year-old Marcus Lee, researching labor movements, uncovers court records and John's personal letters in a Denver archive. The letters reveal a conspiracy. Grayson hired detectives to plant the hammer, framing John to crush the strike, their testimony bought with cash. Marcus posts his findings on X, his voice steady but urgent, justice was stolen. The post spreads, reigniting interest in the Crestview case. Labor activists connected to a 2025 steel strike in Colorado, where workers face similar accusations of sabotage, their demands ignored by a corporate giant. Here's where the tension settles deep. Marcus's discovery prompts a re-evaluation. Labor historians find Grayson's financial records, payments to detectives, bribes to witnesses, proof of the frame-up, buried for decades. In 2025, the modern strike's leader, 34-year-old Elena Ruiz, faces charges mirroring John's, her crew fighting for better conditions, their struggle echoing 1892. Elena's union posts online, linking the cases, their resolve tested by corporate pressure. Marcus visits the old mill site, now a park, and feels the weight of history, the air thick with unresolved anger. Last week, a worker found a rusted hammer in the grass, its handle worn, a silent echo of that betrayal. Think about that. It's 2025, and you're scrolling X, reading Marcus's post, feeling the weight of a fight that never ended. John's strike broke in 1892, Grayson's greed the hammer that struck, and now Elena carries that burden. The workers, then and now, bear the cost, their voices silenced by power. The hammer Marcus found sits in a museum, a relic of a stolen victory. If you're in Colorado, walk those hills. You might hear their echo. Comment if this story moved you. Subscribe for more by the fire. This struggle still burns.